John and Ken Show. John Cobalt and Ken Champo's KFI AM 640.
All right, well, we were just talking about the Porter Ranch gas leak and the fact that, what do you know, a lot of politicians have taken money from Sempra Energy, the parent company of SoCal Gas. It could explain why there was so much silence over the leak for months while the people suffered there.
And again, the number one receiver of Sempra Energy money is that fraud, that phony, that Pope sniffer, Jerry Brown. He's taken in $104,000 to not regulate the biggest source of the worst greenhouse gas that's buried underground and owned by Sempra. And that's the natural gas. That's the methane. It's the worst greenhouse gas. There's no regulations. 14 years Jerry Brown has been governor, never pushed for regulations, bought off by Sempra Energy for $104,000 off the last 10 years. That's what the real world is about.
Now, believe it or not, because John's right, it's just a money grab, right? All this global warming taxes. We're talking about the cap and trade money. Remember, under the Global Warming Solutions Act, put together by Arnold Schwarzenegger and Fabian Nunez, basically, if you emit greenhouse gases and you emit too much of them, you actually have to buy credits on what they call the market, the cap and trade market, in order to continue to do that. And you buy them from other companies that are not emitting as much greenhouse gases. But in the end, this is bringing in a pile of money to Sacramento, and they don't know what to do with it. They're squabbling over what to do with more than $1 billion in cap and trade money. In fact, it's $1.6 billion.
And
you know, they're already spending some of it for the dopey high-speed rail.
Okay, they got $1.6 billion, yet they want to raise gas taxes and car taxes to rebuild the roads.
Right, because they don't want to give it to the roads because the cars are no good.
Wait, you got an extra $1.6 billion. You don't know what to spend it on. You won't spend it on the roads.
No, because cars are no good for the environment.
Yeah, but the methane
we
gas.
need to spend them on environmentally sound projects,
like the methane gas that's been
like affordable housing. It says here,
affordable housing.
Yeah, they're going to spend some of the money on affordable housing, like electric car incentives.
Electric car incentives?
Yes, that's what they're discussing.
God, I heard somebody babbling over the weekend about electric cars. You know, they're trying to put up more charging stations because you drive them, right? And then there's no charging stations. But even if you stop at the charging station, you gotta plug it in for hours.
Takes a while.
Yeah, before you can get home. You can't drive anywhere.
So you have to go shopping for like 3 hours in the mall? Or
wait a second. I can fill up my tank in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'd have to stop for hours to recharge my car? On what planet would anybody do that?
Yeah, think about recharging your phone, but it's multiplied. It's the same idea.
Yeah, that's right. It is the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same problem.
But
the battery doesn't hold a charge very long. There's no battery that holds a charge very long. Your phone battery, your car battery, it's all the same. I mean, these electric batteries that they've got.
How about, here's an idea, since methane is a big global warming gas, spend some of this money to cap that leak or take care of those poor people in Porter Ranch who've been affected by this. Now, SoCal Gas should pay most of that bill. They did the damage by not responsibly keeping an eye on those wells as they aged. But seriously, they're sitting around in Sacramento trying to figure out how to spend almost $2 billion in money that they just grabbed from industries. Because it was a big take this year, or last year, because they included the oil companies for the first time.
They are having such a tax gusher. Have you ever run into, have you ever heard of the government not knowing what to do with the money because they have too much tax revenue and they still want to raise taxes? Why isn't there like a tax cut for everybody since we have the highest in the
what
nation?
About a rebate?
Yeah. When are they cutting taxes instead of having these excess surpluses that they don't know what to do with?
All right, when we come back...
Such criminals. They are such criminals.
We'll talk about, and this is important to keep an eye on, because everybody was all excited because it looked like Europe was going to welcome all these migrants from countries like Syria and Afghanistan. But in the last week or so, the mood has changed, and it looks like they're removing the welcome mat. We'll talk about Sweden and Denmark in particular.
Looks like
they're saying that's it. A lot of them are going home.
Looks like the Syrians didn't mix well with the Danes and the Swedes.
Didn't take long.
John and Ken show on KFI. Let me Deckman his news.